Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. Now we get into consequences. Israel has attacked Syria. What it's attacked in Syria were Iranian installations in Syria. Iran has allied itself with Syria. Russia has aligned itself with Russia has aligned itself with Syria and Iran. Russia and Iran has been assisting the Syrian government in order to attack ISIS and get rid of the terrorists in that country. The United States has been supporting those terrorists. Israel has been supporting those terrorists. Saudi Arabia has been supporting those terrorists. And Britain has been supporting those terrorists. Israel has used this as a pretext to go for their grievances with Iran. Now, Iran has vowed to attack back, to say we're not necessarily going to sit here and allow you to continuously attack us in this way. We are going to respond. We're going to retaliate. Israel recently, yesterday, attacked Iran again, or attacked Iran elements in Syria, murdering Iranians. This is what Israel has come out saying. I guess they're getting scared now and concerned that Iran may actually retaliate. Israel threatens to topple Assad if Iran retaliates over recent Israeli strikes. Israeli minister claims Israel has not intervened in the Syria war. That's laughable! That's laughable. That's amazing. That's as much fake news as Benjamin Netanyahu giving a speech to Congress, or giving a speech talking about Iran is the problem. Israel Energy Minister Yuval Steins, a member of the National Security Cabinet, warned Israel will topple Syrian President Bashar al-Assad if Iran strikes Israeli territory. He said any Iran action would mean Assad's end and the end of his regime. There have been a flurry of speculation in the Israeli press that Iran would soon retaliate against Israeli territory. Israel has repeatedly attacked Syria in recent months and has said those strikes are targeting Iranian military facilities. The Israeli assumption is that after so many attacks, Iran is bound to try to do something about it. Why wouldn't they? Any government would. That just makes sense. You've attacked the government multiple times. Why wouldn't that government respond to the fact that you're attacking and killing their citizens? Of course they're going to respond. So now Steins has decided he needs to threaten Syria over what he thinks Iran might do, based on what Israel has done against Iran inside Syria. Steins has also claimed that Israel has not intervened in the Syrian war at all, despite dozens of Israeli airstrikes against Syrian military targets, and Israel officials openly saying they prefer ISIS winning the war to Assad surviving. Israeli officials, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, has advocated war with Iran for decades, and picking up such calls in recent weeks, the notion that Iran is going to attack them, allowing such a war, seems to be wishful thinking for Israeli hawks. No, it's not wishful thinking. If you consistently attack a government, that government has to protect its citizens. What is the government going to do? That government is going to respond. Israel screams at the top of the line, oh my God, we're being attacked, we're being attacked, we're being attacked. These guys have rocks, so we must shoot them in the face. We will shoot them in the face because they have rocks. Israel, going by their own modus operandi on this, Israel should understand Iran's response, seeing as they themselves have murdered many people. They should understand perfectly well that if you continuously attack a country, that country is going to respond in some way. Are they using this as a pretext to attack Iran? Maybe. Maybe. But that being said, would it make sense for Iran to respond? Yes. Here's the catch. If Israel did this, this would automatically pull Russia into a larger conflict. If it pulls Russia into the conflict, it will pull the United States into a conflict. I've said before, this is a powder keg. They're dragging all of these countries into it, and the United States' support of Israel in this is part of the problem. The United States should have dropped Israel a long time ago. It's not that I want to see Israel destroyed. That's not it at all. No country has a right to exist. My priority is the United States, because I live here. That's what I care about. I don't care about Israeli security in this way, at least not from the standpoint of a greater degree than American security. We should not tether our wagon to that country. If that country wants to take those actions on by its own, let it take so by its own. We should not have anything to do with it. We should not be protecting them in the UN. None of that stuff. If they want to be a rogue nation, let them be a rogue nation left to their own devices. But that's not what takes place. And because that's not what takes place, if he is right about this threat, if they try to implement this threat, they will be sharply rebuked by Russia. And if they're sharply rebuked by Russia, it is very possible and even likely that the United States will get involved. Israel is like the child that slaps somebody and then runs to his big brother, the United States, and gives it billions of dollars and weapons and munitions. It's pathetic. But that is indeed what they do. And this is a potential to lead to a larger conflict. This could just be saber rattling, or this could be policy. We don't know. Many of those guys are war hawks. Many of those guys are neocons. This guy is Orwellian and is a fucking liar, just as big as Benjamin Netanyahu. He's saying that they have not intervened in Syria. That is laughably ridiculous and absurd, and yet he says it nonetheless. He's a flat-out liar. So, can I trust the liar in regards to saying that they will topple Bashar al-Assad? Can't necessarily trust them, no. But does Israel have this thing of trying to topple the Iranian regime? And do they want the Assad regime toppled? Yeah, both of those answers are yes. Both of those answers are yes. It seems that the United States is aligning itself with with Israel, and aligning itself with Saudi Arabia, both of which don't like Iran. Both of which, again, are perfectly okay with Syria being sucked and swept away. So I'm making this point to you that even though this guy is a liar, what he's saying may not necessarily be so far from the truth with the standpoint of what Israel's potential plans may be. After all, he's in the Security Council. He's whispering in somebody's ear. We don't know. My point here is this has the potential, if what he's saying has any degree of truth at all, to lead to a much larger conflict, especially because Russia is not going to allow Bashar al-Assad to be taken out that seat, which means we have an impasse. We have Israel trying to act illegally again, taking time away from murdering Palestinians and managing their open-air ghetto, to starting a world war. Starting a world war. I ended at this. I'm not going to keep this one long. All right, guys. If you agree with the if you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe, and of course, as always, Patreon. Thanks, guys.